Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing a layout with you that I made for the Paper Issues design team, and I made it for a challenge called All About the Girls. And just before I go any further, I'd just like to say that I'm going to be using the Turn the Page, Take Me Away and Oh My Heart collections from Paige Evans. And I'm going to get confused between all the papers that I'm using. I'm going to use a lot of all three of the collections. So I'm not going to tell you exactly from which collection each paper is because I'll probably get confused. So, so this paper, when I saw this paper for the first time, I immediately thought that I wanted to do sort of like a cupboard type bookcase or type layout where I have them all stacked up in little stacked up inside each other. So so there you go. I've fussy cut most of those cups and mugs out, and the photo that I'm going to be using is a photo that was taken last year, and it's a photo of my cousin's kitchen tea, and my granny is sitting in front, and it's just some of us cousins that took a photo with her. And yeah, I thought that this photo would go perfect for this layout, because in the end what I plan on doing is not only using the teacups and the mugs, but I'm going to be using some other elements of the collections as well to sort of describe our personalities and what we all like and things like that, because all of us have a lot in common. And my granny is quite a big part of my life, and she introduced the whole teacup, and that's my baby Lucy, and she introduced me to teacups and teapots and things, and we all love the teapots and teacups, and we all love reading, and yeah, so we all like vintage things, and we all have a thing for bunny rabbits, and so you'll see all of those elements will be somewhere on this layout. Yeah, so here you'll see I'm just cutting, I'm using my craft knife, and oh, that's my baby again. She's joining us for the voiceover. So I'm just using my craft knife to cut out the little bookcase type thing that I want to create, and I am here just going to make the top part of the bookcase. It's like a little mantle that I'm just going to be placing on top of the bookcase. So I'm just freehand drawing this. There's no, I don't have a file or a cut file or anything, and there you can see I just free-handed it. And here I'm going to just be doing some going to be poking some holes for stitching, because I wanted to do some stitching on the bookcase just to make it stand out a bit more, because it is all white. And yeah, I'm going to be using, I think I used 3 strands of the embroidery thread on this layout, and it adds so much texture and dimension to the page, just some extra interest. My granny is a avid machine embroiderer. She loves embroidering, so that is why I wanted to do loads of stitching on this layout. In any case, I am not very good at embroidering, so I didn't want to go to all the fancy stuff. But yeah, I'm popping the bookcase bits that I cut out in that mantle. I'll be popping up on some foam squares. The back of the bookcase is just I think it's 8 by 8 that I cut it in the end. That'll just be sticking flat on the back of the on the whoop, sorry, bless you, Lucy. And as you see, for the feet of the bookcase, I just took a whole a circle punch, and I just cut them in half, and those are the little feet of the bookcase. And here I am going through the ephemera pack, and I'm just seeing if there's any other elements that I could be using in the bookcase, or the most interesting thing I can come up with. So I go through the ephemera pack and I pull out some of those little flowers, the little bunches of flowers, and there's also quite a few of them in the on the chipboard sticker sheet and on the 6x12 sticker sheet. So I'm just going to be sticking those on there. And that little die cut is from the die cut pack, and I just cut off the little white border around it. This I can tell you is from the Oh My Heart collection, this I at least know. And it's a very busy sheet of a woman's, the contents of a woman's, I think, purse or bag. So I thought, us being all girls, I thought of putting some of these elements in the bookcase as well. So you see, I'm cutting out more than I'm going to be using in the end. I just thought, while I'm busy with this sheet, let me just do all the cutting I wanted to do on it. Then I came across this sheet and I fell in love with all the books on this page. So I'm going to be cutting out most of the books on this page as well, because I decided, well, we all love reading as well, so how about me just cutting them out and sticking them in the bookcase as well. And they fit perfectly. They are the perfect size to go into the bookcase. That die cut cocoa sugar flower is also very pertinent. My granny loves making cookies and making bread and things like that, so I thought that would be quite clearly Lucy also loves baking, so yeah, I'm just going to be sticking all of the embellishments on some foam squares. And I cut out 2 of those tiny little pencils, and I stuck them in one of the mugs. And my granny loves writing, and I love writing as well. I mean, I studied journalism, so I thought that was quite something that would be good on this page as well. So I decided I didn't want that teal blue background, and I went through the ephemera pack again of the Oh My Heart collection, and I pulled out some of the florals I had left because I've used so much of this collection already. And then I pulled out some of these sheets with the flowers on, and you'll see that I've used quite a bit of them. They're all cut up, but I'm going to be fussy cutting a lot of these flowers out, and you'll see that I'm going to cut all of the big flowers. I'll be cutting in half and sort of placing the halves around the edges of the bookcase. And if you have a layout like this where you can cut your flowers in half, it's good because then you can use the flowers on the edges of the paper, and you don't throw those away. So I felt quite good that I wasn't throwing away any of those beautiful flowers, and I could use all the ones on the edges of the paper. I also pull out the 6x6 pad from Oh My Heart just to get out some of those smaller flowers, because I used the bigger flowers from the 12x12 and I needed some smaller ones to fill in the spaces between the bigger flowers. And what's a good thing to do if you are working with a lot of different size embellishments is to place the bigger embellishments down first, and then you sort of fill out all the open spaces with your smaller embellishments. And yeah, and then it'll be more evenly spaced than if you start with the little ones. And besides, it's visually more pleasing if the little embellishments are placed over the top or on top of the bigger elements. And yeah, that way you also don't stand the risk of covering up some of your smaller embellishments if you put a bigger embellishment up last. So here you'll see I'm just using my plain glue just to stick those embellishments down and to place the little flowers in underneath the petals, the little leaves in underneath the petals of the flowers. And I'm going to be sticking loads of those teeny tiny little flowers that I fussy cut as well on top of the bigger flowers and behind the bigger flowers. And I don't know why I didn't record, but the top part of the layout above the little mantle of the bookcase, it didn't record my placing the flowers down. So yeah, you're not going to see that, but the rest of the layout you will see. So this is it for this layout. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.